I'm Juliet and welcome back to Mama Tried. Today I'm going to be sharing with you 3 toddler meal ideas, which is breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I've created some shopping lists for you if you want to go ahead and screenshot those now. Just something that'll make your shopping a little bit more easy. All of the recipes will be over on my Instagram if you want to screenshot them from there, but let's go ahead and get started. For breakfast, I'm making mini quiche bites, so you already know I'm setting out all of my dry ingredients and wet ingredients this go around just to make sure that I have everything beforehand. And then I'm going to go ahead and preheat my oven to 350 and spray my pan so that way the quiche bites do not get stuck in the pan. Now I'm going to go ahead and prep my veggies. So I need half a cup of sweet potato and half a cup of broccoli. I'm just going to go ahead and chop all of it up, and with the leftovers I'm just going to place it in a freezer safe bag and freeze it so that way I can use it in a later recipe or if I want to remake this again. Obviously, this step is optional, but this has saved me more times than not. So I just continue on. It only takes me a couple of minutes to chop up whatever else that I have, and then I'll just save the extras in the freezer. And then if I want to make this recipe again later on, I already have the veggies chopped, or if I want to make something else, I've got them chopped in the fridge already. So this has saved me a lot whenever I'm planning out my groceries. So you can do whatever you want to do, but I like doing it this way. Once all of the veggies are chopped, I just put them in a large bowl and I'm going to add in 12 eggs. Now I'm just adding in 1/4 cup of coconut flour, 1/4 cup of avocado oil, or you could use olive oil, 1/4 cup of water, 1 teaspoon of milled flax seeds, 1 tablespoon of onion powder, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, and 1 1/2 teaspoons of sea salt. Mix everything together really well. Once everything is mixed together really well, go ahead and put it in the mini muffin pan. Make sure that you spray it or you're using silicone liners, because trust me, you do not want to try to get them out without spray. I had some mixture left over, so I just sprayed a mini loaf pan and added the mixture into that. Now it's time to just pop everything in the oven at 350 degrees for about 17 minutes or until the mixture becomes spongy. I usually put half in the fridge, it's good for 3 days, and then the other half in the freezer, it's good for 3 months.
Yummy. See? Thank you, Mama.
You're welcome.
Man, you're cute.
Yummy.
Yummy, yummy. Is that good?
For lunch, we're having copycat Lunchables, so I'm just getting out all of my ingredients so I can get started. Now I'm just going to go ahead and preheat my oven to 400 degrees and line some baking sheets with some silicone baking mats. I am an Amazon associate and I will be linking everything that I can in the description below. If you're going to buy the items, I would really appreciate it if you would buy them from my links because I may receive a very small commission, but everything counts. Now I'm just adding 1 cup of flour into a food processor. And adding in 1 teaspoon of raw honey. I sliced up 1/4 cup of cold butter and I'm adding that into the food processor as well. I'm just going to process that mixture together until the cold butter is broken up into smaller pieces, and then I'm going to be adding a little bit of water into the mixture as it's running until it becomes like a dough consistency, so it will gather up into like one big ball, and that's when you know that it's ready. So just continue to add the water until it becomes that consistency, but make sure not to add too much because then the dough will be too sticky and then you'll need to add more flour. So just do it slowly. Now I have a nice clean countertop that I'm just going to put some flour on, and then I'll be putting my dough onto that to knead it together and then to spread it out. Now you're going to want to spread it out pretty thin, but not too thin so your pieces fall apart, if that makes sense. And don't let me fool you, this was like my 5th time rolling this out, and sometimes that's what it takes for the dough to become the consistency that you want. And make sure that you're putting down flour so it doesn't stick to the surface, and also put the flour on top so it's not sticky as well. I'll be linking these cute little cookie cutters that I got off of Amazon. I've used these so many times since getting them. I cut up all kinds of things for Luxi and she loves them. It helps with learning shapes and all kinds of things, which I just think is fun. Obviously not necessary, but really fun. And it just gives more of the Lunchable appearance, and you can do all kinds of cool shapes, which just makes it even more fun, in my opinion. Don't forget to just keep re-rolling the dough until you've made as many crackers as your heart desires. These crackers turned out amazing. Luxi loved them. We went through them in about 3 days, and I really hope that your little ones love them too. I think that these Lunchables are way cooler than the Lunchables that you can buy in store, and it's a much more affordable option. Now just sprinkle the tops of these with a little bit of sea salt before popping them in the oven. Bake at 400 degrees for about 13 to 15 minutes. Once the 13-minute mark was up, I turned off the oven and I let it cook for another 10 minutes. Now these got a little bit more crispy than I wanted, so next time that I do it, I'm just going to leave them in for probably like 7 minutes. So that's my little tip for you guys. And then here I'm just chopping up some mozzarella cheese with the little star cutter. Now this is a very extra and unnecessary step. And yes, I did reuse the cheese that's there because mama don't waste, okay? But then I just chopped up the rest into small little squares just like Lunchables do. And then I got some turkey and I just cut out the turkey with a little circular cutter, and that turned out really good. I thought about using salami, but I ended up not doing that. And next time we're going to try honey ham, and these just turned out so adorable. We actually ended up going over to my parents' house, so we're going to do the toddler taste test somewhere different today.
Yeah.
Star, very good.
Yeah.
Is
Is that a blueberry? It's a blueberry. Mmm.
It's time for dinner, and we're having spaghetti and meatballs, but not just any spaghetti and meatballs that are filled with veggies. So you know the drill. I'm just getting all of my ingredients together so I make sure that I have everything. Now I'm just preheating my oven to 375 and lining a baking sheet with a silicone baking mat. Now I'm adding in 1 pound of ground beef, 1 egg, 3 tablespoons of coconut milk, 1/4 cup of cornstarch, 1 tablespoon of onion powder, 2 teaspoons of garlic powder, 1 teaspoon of oregano, 1 teaspoon of sea salt, and 1/4 teaspoon of ground black pepper. Now I'm just finely chopping up about a cup of baby spinach. Now I'm just mixing everything together with a wooden spoon. Afterwards, I mixed it together really well with my hands. I did film that part, but it looked kind of weird, so I didn't add it in here. Now I'm just using a small cookie scoop to make the mini meatballs, and then afterwards I'm going to continue forming them with my hands just so they're the perfect shape. Now I'm going to pop the mini meatballs into the oven at 375 for 20 minutes. While those are cooking, I'm going to go ahead and get started on the spaghetti and the sauce. So I'm just boiling some water over the stove in a large pot and peeling and chopping some carrots, 1 medium yellow onion, Now I'm finely chopping 4 ounces of button mushrooms, and 3 cloves of garlic. Now that the water is boiling, I'm adding in 1 pound of spaghetti noodles. While the spaghetti noodles are cooking, I'm just heating up 3 tablespoons of olive oil in another large pan and adding in my veggies and letting those cook for about 10 to 15 minutes. While that was cooking, the meatballs were ready, so I just took them out of the oven. Now it's time to add in the garlic and the 24-ounce can of spaghetti sauce, so I'm just letting that simmer. And now I've got my little helper helping me stir it. Once the 15 minutes was up, I just added in the mini meatballs and stirred it all together, and then it is ready. So I'm going to make a plate for Luxi and put it in the freezer for a little bit since it's so hot, just to make sure that it cools down enough for her. This doesn't take that long, but you do not want to burn your baby's mouths.
Do.
Okay, are you ready to eat?
Yes.
Can you say spaghetti?
Days. So full. Sit down.
Alright, that's everything that I have for today, so thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. It really helps support my channel, and make sure that you're subscribed with the bell notifications on so that way you don't miss any of my videos. But that was everything, so I hope that you have an awesome day. Bye!